if you're currently in a career that you're not quite fulfilled with and happy in, and you've been thinking about switching it up and pursuing something more creative like filmmaking, there are probably loads of reasons that you could tell yourself why you shouldn't do it. And the main one probably is, it feels a bit too late. Now, I don't know how old you are, but if you're in your 30s or 40s or even 50s, you could definitely convince yourself that you've already worked long enough in this other career, you've built up a comfort level there and a pension and a sort of respect in that field. And it does just feel a bit too late now to switch things up and go for this completely new, different career. Well, the good news is I'm here to tell you 5 reasons why it's not too late. So let's just get into it. So reason number 1. The way I work is I usually deal directly with business owners, or at least the people who are in charge of marketing at businesses. Now, those people tend to usually be at least over 30, sometimes over 40, and sometimes over 50. I'm never usually dealing with a 21-year-old head of marketing or CEO or someone like that. Now, this is nothing against the young people, right? But if you're feeling like you might be getting, it might be like a hard time to get into video because it's a young person's game, those clients, those potential clients, they're looking to connect with people who can solve a problem for them. And it makes it much easier to connect with them when you guys are from the same generation, when you're, when you're from the same era, you speak the same language. It's a lot different than them speaking to some 20-year-old kid who's just came out of school who can make flashy edits and Instagram reels. Now, again, I don't want to sound like I'm down on the kids. Love the kids, right? But it's just a simple fact. Talking to people who are from nearer your own age group is easier, and doing business with them is even easier. So don't see that as a hindrance, see that as a benefit. Number 2, and this kind of ties into number 1, the more socially experienced you are and the more life experience that you've got, the easier it is to connect with people, right? And when we are doing, for instance, an interview, a talking head, there are a lot of transferable skills. Like, we're directing something, but we're not trying to be Quentin Tarantino here. We're trying to make a connection with someone, allow them to relax and open up and capture some really nice moments with them. And to be able to do that, it helps if you've got a bit of your own story, a bit of your own gravitas that you can bring to it. Because if someone sees someone else who, all right, they might be new to this career, but they've clearly had a life behind them. I mean, I have, you can see it in my eyes. When people see that, they can trust and they can relax. And that's what we want to do. When I'm filming someone and they're sitting down in front of all the lights and the cameras, I want to just have this connection between us so that they can relax and be themselves. And that's a lot easier if it feels like they're speaking to someone who has experience, who's achieved a lot, or not even achieved a lot, but experienced a lot in their life. We wear that stuff, all that experience, all the things that happen to us, we wear it on us, even if we try not to. It's obvious. And it comes across especially well when we connect with people, and especially if people are looking to you for reassurance and comfort so that they can feel relaxed. It's a huge asset to have, is a bit of life experience behind us. So that's number 2. Number 3, you don't actually have to just quit your job and freak your family out and say, I am leaving and I'm going to pursue a career in filmmaking, so I quit. You don't have to do that. You can actually work up to it and get yourself comfortable with it. And basically that means you can build some portfolio pieces on the side, you can build your business infrastructure on the side. And when you're making those little portfolio pieces, when you reach out to clients who work when you don't. So for instance, if it's a tattoo parlor, I always say tattoo parlor for some reason, get in touch with them, and if you work 9 to 5, go and do them at the weekend when they're open. They'll be open at the weekend. And that way you can fit it in, you can do it concurrently with your business, and you can slowly give yourself proof that it can work. And then once you do that, you'll find that you get to a level where you've got a website built up, or a showreel or portfolio, you've got systems set in place, you've worked out a few bunches of clients that you want to outreach to, and then you can start feeling a bit more comfortable calling it a business. Incidentally, if you want to download my client tracker list, it's down in the description below. It's just a way that I've always used to keep track of all the clients that I outreach to and just keep the statuses updated of how that conversation is going with each client. It really helps, especially if you do it straight from the start of starting your business. Number 4, and this is the most important one. If you're unhappy or unfulfilled in the thing that you do most days of your life, then it is never too late to quit it. Never. Think about it. You could be working for another 20, 30 years. Even if you're only working another 10 years. I don't know how old you are, right? And I don't know what stage of career you're at or anything like that. But if you were to switch to a different career, you've still got so much time to make it work. You've still got so much time to turn it into something that's good. And you shouldn't not listen to your soul and ignore what your soul is saying just because you think, I've already established myself in this one thing. Why would I want to do that? Even if it is what I really want to do. It's never too late. Just get out there and do it. You're only young till you're old. And then when you're too old, you can't do it anymore, right? But you know yourself, even if you're in your 50s or even 60s, right? If you can round off your career by doing something that you love, that's definitely not a waste of time. That's definitely not a bad move. So think about it like this. Even if you've only got 10 years of working left, but those 10 years are devoted to this, you could make a huge success in that 10 years. Or you could even work part-time, kind of like I do. Make sure you have a steady stream of part-time clients, and then the rest of the time you free yourself up to do other things you love. I don't know, like hill walking or woodworking or whatever. Something like that. So, never too late. Finally, it's never been a better time to dive into this. I mean, cameras are so good now and so much cheaper than they used to be. Lighting is incredibly good and incredibly cheap now. Microphones, same thing. You can build out a really nice kit list for quite cheap now and quite easily. And what's more, it is so easy to learn how to use it all now. I have learned so much from YouTube and as well as working with professionals. But if I was to try and do what I did 15 years ago, 20 years ago, it would have been very, very difficult. Cameras were much bigger, much more expensive. Education, you would have had to go to film school or work shadowing on a job for years. Now you can streamline all of that and you can learn online. And just a little shameless plug, there's a link to my masterclass down below. I will aim to show you how to go exactly from 0 clients right through to building a working business. And I go really in depth with it, so I really recommend that you tune in. If it's not live when the link's there'll be a waiting list. And if it is, then dive in and enjoy. But what I really want to get across here is that if this is something that you really want to do, you will always find excuses not to do it. Trust me, I did for many years. And I hate to see it. I hate to see when people talk themselves out of things. It doesn't even drive me nuts, it just makes me sad. Because eventually we know that if you really, really want to do it, you're going to do it. So let's just try and embrace that feeling and get out there and do it. And I am here with you 100% of the way. Follow along on the channel, reach out to me, message me, whatever you need, right? I will hold you accountable if that's what you need. Because I've been there, I've done all that myself, and I'm just rooting for you. So remember the links below, and subscribe if you want. I don't know if that's your thing. Otherwise, I might see you in the next video.